He gets to verse number 19, and he's done with the Passover. And he says, and when he had taken some bread and given thanks, which was the blessing, he broke it. And look at what he says. He says, this is my body. So they were eating the lamb with the lamb. Y'all missed that. Y'all missed that. How do you know he was the lamb? John 1:29. John, his cousin, sees him coming from afar off. And you know what he says? He says, behold, the Lamb of God, which takes away the sin of the world. So here they got an opportunity to eat the Passover lamb with the Lamb who is the Passover. And he takes bread. He breaks it. He blesses it and breaks it and says, this is my body. Watch this, which is given for you. Do this. Watch this. He is now no longer deferring to the Old Testament Passover. That's what you did. Now he's telling them, do this. You did that, but now you do this. You observed that, but now you observe this. This is my body. Do this in remembrance of me. Don't do it out of tradition. Don't do it out of habit. Don't do it out of routine. Do this in remembrance of me. How many of you have somebody you love that died? That you were close to? A grandma, a parent, a child. And I know for a fact, talking to some of you, that around that time of year, you know what you do? Some of you go to the cemetery because this was a traumatic loss in your life. Somebody you loved is no longer here, and you will go. There are people that go to the graveyard, and there's nothing wrong with that. We are creatures of emotion. And you don't go to the graveyard and just chill there and have a picnic. You don't go to the graveyard and take phone calls and send text messages. You don't do that. You don't go to the graveyard and look across the cemetery and try to figure out who's that driving up on the cemetery. You don't go to the graveyard and whisper about the dead person 2 tombstones up. You go to that graveyard, that cemetery, and you take a moment and you reflect. You put flowers down, you reflect, you remember, you might shed a tear. Yes, it was awkward today. I felt it, and it should have been awkward. That's exactly what should have happened today during the Lord's Supper and every Sunday when you are remembering. But the modern church is in such a rush to get out that their zeal about getting out is greater than their zeal about coming in. And we have allowed it, certain voices who in the name of keeping things orderly end up disorderly in the presence of God. This thing, this church thing, is not for the commercialization and the attraction of men. It was never about man. How selfish is it for you to make somebody else's birthday about you? And everybody knows somebody that come into your birthday party and steal the sign. Hey, everybody, no, sit. Lord, please forgive me. But anyway, sit down somewhere. This ain't even your day. You don't go to a wedding trying to outshine the bride. It's her day. And you don't come to the house of God trying to outshine Jesus. It's his day. It's called the Lord's Day. The day where we have the Lord's Supper.